Welcome back to Nick Lenz Comic Corner, classic slash non-classic. This is episode number 2811 and episode number 2805. First, we're basically discussing two trades here. The first one being New Titans Total Chaos, which had collected issues 1 through 3 of Team Titans, New Titans 90 to 92, and Deathstroke number 1416. I've already discussed Deathstroke Restoration. I'm going to discuss those here. Basically, it's discovered during the course of the start of the story that Mirage had been posing as Starfire. Yep, and Starfire is ticked off. So she's like, beat the crap out of her. The whole thing, a total chaos thing, an element of it is people talking like crazy. Linkar himself didn't go too much in the story per se, but the main thing about the story is that we have the new Titans meeting up with the Team Titans, which of course that's kind of initially in issue 92, and then basically issue 1. Now there's basically at the end of issue number 90, and part 2 of the story, the villain that debuted when they debuted, which was New Titans and number 7, get this. So, his name is Lord Chaos, and he's Don Troy's son for the future. So, he comes back and basically, apparently, Don Troy is pregnant with Terry Long's child. So, he basically says, no one touches this woman. So he takes his mom, and then she gives birth to him. Well, a younger version anyways. And, of course, the Team Titans. Basically, next leads into issue number 1 for Team Titans. A very short-lived title. I'll be discussing more of this later when I finish up New Titans. Yeah, when the book is finished up, I will be discussing this book. And I will be first discussing Deathstroke first, then this book. Actually, yeah, I'll discuss this book, then Deathstroke. Excuse me. And then it's going to be, New Teen Titans Volume 2, Young Justice, JLA / Titans, and then, of course, Titans the Captain Show. So, we basically reveal all the backstories related to, like, all the members. Terra 2, Mirage, Battalion, Kilowatt, who was the Mirage member? I remember one's Battalion, remember that. There's also Knight Rider, who is basically just future Nightwing, Redwing. Yeah, basically issue 1 has like several different like backstories along with the main story itself. Yes, it is basically in a way like 5 different stories related to these characters. Redwing is a woman. Mirage, of course, is a character who will still stick around. There's also a man named Prester John, who does not get a backstory in these issues. Not really, no, and the fact that Redwing is actually a sister. Yeah, and if you're curious though, does Marv Wolfman write this series? Oh heck yes, he does. And so Phil Jimenez is the artist here. Yep, first we got Kilowatt, Mirage, Knight Rider, Redwing, and Terra. Kilowatt basically his name is Charlie. Charlie Wickens. They also show up a few people who were part of the group, just this one appearance. Named Avo, Aurora, and Silver Shield. Some of them died in this issue. Basically, first we get his backstory, and then it's Mirage, Knight Rider, Redwing, and Terra. And then, of course, right after it, and of course, at the end of the story here, like, we have debut of, well, yeah, pretty much the end of the main story itself. Yeah, pretty much in the way, like, yeah, he comes in and, of course, basically, like, Robert's Long, we get basically his debut here. Well, Yeah, then pretty much basically like after he sort of in a way has Donna give birth to himself, well, the younger version of him, anyways. Yes. Yeah, then we leave, and that's basically part 3 of the story. Yeah, basically, uh, part 1 is Deathstroke, the 14. Part 2 is Nightwing. Uh, part 3 is Teen Titans, and that's part 2, 3. 4 is Terminator. Then we move on to New Titans number 91. Where, of course, the Willoughby shows up here, and Deathwing has a cameo. Deathwing is just Dick Grayson from the future. Evil Dick Grayson, that is. Yeah, and it also involves, like, Phantasm, which... This is basically, like... just not Danny Chase. Yeah, he made his debut just after the events of the Willoughby Society, the Titans Hunt. He's basically here just as a character who does virtually nothing. You assume it's Danny Chase, but not really. Yeah. So we continue over in Team Titans number 2, where we have a basically 80-foot Donna Troy. Yeah. The sad thing related to this issue, of course, we also have one unfortunately die in this issue. And then we continue on to Deathstroke, and then, well, New Titans number 92, where you have basically Donna fighting a future version of her own son. And then Aqualad shows up. Yes, Aqualad appears in the book. And then apparently the story concludes in Team Titans number 3, which I believe we also have Battaglia loses basically his backstory, I think, this issue. This issue is noteworthy for Donna Troy losing her powers. Yes, though she gets it back later, don't worry about that. Yeah, it's only to prevent the whole thing with Lord Chaos, and he dies. Basically, the whole thing related to him is prevented, and that's the whole thing in a nutshell. Yep. Of course, no more about Teen Titans, so... In case you're curious, though, how long is Team Titans? This book is 24 issues. And here's a sad fact about this book. It has only one trade. Titans Total Chaos. Yep, this is the only trade to ever collect this whole series. And nothing else. Yes, I repeat, nothing else is collected in this series. Now, will we continue to discuss the series? Later on, yes, but not right now. Yeah. So, we're not done here just yet. Next up we have is Showcase presents The Atom, which collects I think it was like Showcase 90, I think it was like 34, 36. And the first 17 issues of The Atom ongoing. Yes. Now, issue 34 obviously is a very historic issue. It's the first appearance of Ray Palmer, his suit, the Dwarf Star stuff, and also the first appearance of Jean Loring. That's literally the whole reason for the issue. It's also his first venture. The adventure itself feels very similar to Hank Pym's first backstory. The whole thing with him out of his suit. His suit could debut the very next issue. But a lot of the stories related to this book is like a little bit of sci-fi stuff per se. Oh, in case you're curious, the writer of this book is Gardner Fox. Artwork is by Gail Kane. Now, there is a few historic issues of the main ongoing series for The Atom. Of the first 17, the very first issue ever released, which came just after The Atom, at the Showcase 34, we had the first appearance of a character who is still very much around this very day, It's the first appearance of the Phalonic Man, Jason Woodrow. Except in this book, he's not called the Phalonic Man, he is called Plant Man. But yeah, Adam number 1 is basically his debut appearance. Yep. And also first appearance of Queen Maya the Dryads. Yep. Aside from the fact it's first appearance of Jason Woodrow, it's more plant stuff, and of course we have some standalone stuff here. Issue 3 is the first appearance of another original character. A character still very much around this very day. A character by the name of David Clayton. You might be thinking, that name sounds familiar. Yeah, he's Kronos. Yep, this comic is his debut appearance. And he appears 2 more times in this book. Yes, he does. His next appearance is issue 13 and 28, which we'll discuss another time. But there is another historic issue here. In issue number 8 of this very book, we have a guest star appearance by a JLA villain. Yes. That one being Dr. Light. Yes. Dr. Light. I believe this was his second ever appearance in the comics. Yes. My guess is the reason Carter Fox included it because... Excuse me, he created a character, so why not? And he's like technically the only non-regular Adam villain he fights in this book. At one point, it's like weird stuff happening here. Like, we also see a character named Alphys Hyatt, who made his debut in issue 3 as well. He's not a villain. He is just a recurring character in this book. And he appears throughout a lot of this series. I do mean a lot of it. He does appear a couple more times in other books per se. But, like in one issue, we have Adam's suit basically fighting him. Yes, he fights his own suit for an issue. Yeah, and in case you're curious though, was Showcase 94 also the debut of his hometown? Yes. Ivytown. It's a college town. He basically is a college professor. And a scientist too. Issue 5 is basically standard Silver Age stuff, where basically he's fighting like an eagle. Yeah. And it's a lot of basically like regular Silver Age stuff, but it's good. I like the Silver Age stuff they have in here. Nothing really wrong with these issues per se. In issue 6, there's a guy called Wizro. Yeah, and in this first book, he basically just was the Midnight Raider. He only appeared twice. Because after this one issue, he would not make his return until all new Adam number 12, which came out in 2007. Which was 44 years after this one issue. Yes. Actually, that was in Riddle Two-Face Astronaut, but yeah. Also, issue 7, this is another historic issue. This is the first time that Ray Palmer meets Carter Hall, Hawkman. Which I believe this was also collected in Showcase Presents Hawkman Volume 1. I believe so. Yeah, so you have him going double in opening story, and moving on issue 10. Him on the grenade. Oh, and we have someone named Swan Minden. Yes, who appears with one issue. Yeah. It's like, okay, let's have a one-shot character in here. Yeah, then you have, we have him going the giant size for one issue. Yep. They have him in a ray gun. We have the first appearance of Elucia Nigaragi, Ray Palmer's lab assistant, who is a fairly recurring character. Yep. And she would not appear very much in this book, but she'd be a lot more in Power of the Atom. Yep. Yeah, she's like a minor recurring character in this book, and then just basically just have her do nothing until basically Power of the Atom. And then Kronos returns issue 13, obviously. Of course, she has to defend Ray from a charge he didn't commit. Yeah, and then of course Ray finding his own uniform. Also, 14 is first one with just a standalone story. No backup story of this one. Yep. But more one-shot villains in these issues. Nothing really noteworthy per se. Not really. But still fun stuff here. Kind of enjoyed the book. Issue 17 also has 3 stories in it. So, I'm going to give Showcase Presents The Atom Volume 1 a 8.5 out of 10. It's got some good historical feats to this one. Like, the only issues that are really important in this trade here is issue 94. The Atom 1 for 2 reasons. The first issue of the series. Excuse me. And the first appearance of the Volonic Man. Issue 3. The third most important edition of this book is the first appearance of Kronos. Issue 8. The second appearance of Dr. Light. And 13 definitely because second appearance of Kronos. But aside from these issues, not a lot big historical issues per se for the Atom. But I'd recommend check this out. Now, you read these issues, it reminds me a lot of the Hank Pym stuff over at Marvel. My guess is Gardner Fox either inspiration from those comics or probably ripped them off. My guess it was probably inspiration because the stories seem very similar. Like him finding a little sci-fi stuff. He hear a little more sci-fi stuff than Hank's does per se. Plus, of course, one thing Ray does not have that Hank does is his love interest being his partner. And now, Janet Von Dyne knew from Hank Pym that he was the Atom, that he was Ant-Man from pretty much not long after they first met. Jean would not find out he's the Atom for a long time. Also, in the first issue, he basically says, "This is my 57th time proposing to you." Yes, because apparently the recurring joke is, we started in Showcase 94, is that Ray Palmer frequently proposed to Jean Loring. They would not officially get married into issue of Justice League Unlimited, Justice League of America. Issue I think was like 157 in the 70s. Now, why the heck would they wait till these two get married? I have no idea. Hey, but you at least got to praise the fact for a long time he only had one love interest, Jean Loring. Yep. But yeah, that's particularly a particular view. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn notifications, and do not hit the like button. There might be more, but who knows? But this is the one I was thinking that probably happened tonight. So, there might have been a one later. Depends on get more stuff done, okay? But see you in the next video. Bye.